Hey, welcome back for this episode of Manly Jobs. We're going to be showing you the upstairs portion of cable logging, where the machines work and the logs get loaded on the log truck. So join us for this exciting episode right here on Manly Jobs. We're here with Brock Coder, site supervisor for THI. He's going to tell us a little bit about what his job is and what we see behind us. Brock?
Well, I work for Timber Harvesting Incorporated. I am kind of a site supervisor. I make sure that everything happening here goes as smoothly as possible. We are a steep slope cable logging operation, if you want to call it that. A lot of people just say yarder logging. Right now on this particular operation, we have one shovel and one processor working underneath the yarder with a Bowman carriage on the skyline. We're hanging out about 4,200 feet. Yarding distance is out to about 2,100 feet on this job. Full suspension with our turns, which a turn is a group of logs carried by the carriage back up to the yarder. The reason that has to happen is because this ground is too steep and too dangerous for mechanized, which would be the shovel and the processor.
In this particular operation, there's 4 jobs. Brock's going to talk about each one of those jobs and kind of what it takes to get there.
So right now we have a chaser unbelling chokers from a turn. That's his main job, is to make sure every time a turn of logs come in is to unhook the cables from those logs. He also has the responsibilities of helping maintain everything on the landing. Sometimes he has to gather up equipment to ship out to the guys on the carriage. Sometimes we need lines coiled up to where we can carry them easier, and that's his responsibility as well. The next job would be the actual yarder operator himself. He is responsible for keeping an eye on all of these lines that you're seeing behind me. He's in full communication with everybody out in the brush, and every time they communicate with each other, either with a chest pack radio or with a whistle system that you just heard, he will run the carriage in and out. That whistle system takes a while to learn, takes a while to understand. There's a different combination of whistles for every function that we want him to do with the yarder. And so when he gets a function whistle, he will engage whatever drums that they are asking him to move, and he will spin those drums. That yarder is capable of pulling those turns up that hill 30 to 45 miles an hour, depending on what gear he's in. There's a lot of moving parts going in for him to understand and keep track of. That's a very high stress, very knowledge-based job, and he does a really good job at it. The yellow machine out front is our dangle head processor. As a turn comes in and lands, he grabs each log, spins, and processes it into the shovel.
Okay, so what's the big orange machine?
The big orange machine is our log loader. We call it a log loader or shovel interchangeably. He's responsible for, on this particular job, is sorting, stacking, and loading trucks. Sounds like it might be easier, but it's actually a difficult job because he has to grade log quality, send them to the right mill. He does all the communication with his truckers. He synchronizes when they show up, when they get loaded, in what order, how many loads he's going to give each truck. And his name's Bob Jacola, and he probably has, well, he definitely has more experience than anybody else out here. He's been doing this since he was some of our young choker setters' age. I don't know how many years that is, and he might not want me to tell you, but he's done everything up here, and he's extremely knowledge-based, and so he can look at what we're doing and have a real good idea of what he can expect for production, what he needs for trucks, which makes my life a lot easier. Starting from the bottom is mostly physical. I would say that the job starting out they're really suited for people that are competitive and hardworking. Typically our jobs start the pay scale at anywhere from $18 to $22 an hour based on experience, and there's a lot of opportunity for rapid increase there. Most guys see an immediate bonus after a year, and climbing through the ranks here isn't that hard.
So Brock, how did you get into this?
Well, this is a family business. I grew up around this, and I always really enjoyed being out here. But as I got older, it just seemed to make more of a job sense for me to stay out here. I see a lot of possibility in logging. There's a good future here, I believe. I decided to fully commit to it, and I'm glad I did.
Cable yarding is one of the most exciting jobs in the timber industry. Active individuals should consider this as a career path for their future.